to go over the charts and stuff. And so Lyft on the day, yeah. So some of these that squeeze, some of them, it can be very risky. And so with Lyft up only 1% on the day. But John is saying that he caught an 8% move on it. So nice work. I don't know what your thesis was, but from looking at the chart here, I can easily draw a downtrend from the tops here. I could easily draw a channel. And so I might actually just start with a downtrend here from the high of 20.2. Sorry, $20.82 coming to, actually, I was thinking of going here. We don't see any closes above it. I'm just going to do it to the close of this day, so that is true. And so the close on that day was 1724. So I'm just going to adjust that line to 1724. Oh, dang it. I don't know why I was thinking close. I was thinking open. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a channel, and that is going to be based on this trend going from the high here to what we're currently seeing. And yeah, I mean, I guess I could have just drawn something like that. But so what we're seeing is a struggle to break out of this. Since I don't have anything else on there, I'm just going to leave those white lines. Usually I try to remove them just because it gets cluttered. But here, I mean, we can look at this. We can think about it. We have been, and by we, I don't have a position in Lyft. By we, I mean retail. And so just giving my perspective on this. We were trading, Lyft was trading down in this downtrending channel, getting rejected from the tops here and finding support at the bottom here. Also doing a lot of trading around the middle of that channel, finding support there before this next leg up. But it looks like that breakout was not strong enough and we got rejected. Maybe there could be a pullback. I mean, maybe this is the pullback. We look at the volume profile. We see that current price is right around the volume average low based on this time frame, which is at a price of $15.62. So this green line here where the cursor is. And current price, at close at $15.69 and a following close, which is currently trading at $15.75, above that volume average low. So looking good there. This pullback could be just a little bit of a pullback before another attempt to break out of this downtrending channel. And to break out above that, we would really want to be seeing a close above 1660, right around there. Got a wick high on the day up to 1729, wicking up to the volume point of control, which is $17.22, this middle line here, and that's just calculated based on the volume profile that I have on the side there. And so looking at that, we got rejected from that level. And so I could see there being another attempt to get above there, but that day was not today. But looking at this, I'm going to remove the volume profile to switch over to the daily, or I'll do a 10-minute time frame. We can see that, yeah, there was a pre-market big move up. So pre-market squeeze or whatever was going on here. We can see a move up of about almost 12%. So John, nice work on that 8% swing. Tough to do. I imagine you started to see maybe there are some topping signals here with all of those wicks going up. Looking at this again on the 10-minute time frame. And so with those wicks up there, and let's see, volume, of course, increasing, when the trading, the market opens. And then there's this, pullback here. And so that's really just the beginning of this. And so if one established a position here, that would be, a 6% almost move following that pullback. On the weekly for Lyft. So I will look at that, but then I am going to close this stream down because to be honest, I haven't had lunch today. I haven't eaten much today. So I'm going to do that soon. Yeah, and also the interesting thing about cup and handles, I mean, you could probably argue that this looks really nice. I mean, there are a couple things that you could argue here. One is that this is, the cup here. This is on the weekly time frame. This is the handle, and there was a break and a retest of the scene of the crime. I think that this looks really good. I will probably do a clip of this video of the stream here and put a video out on Lyft, because I think that this has retraced to the scene of the crime. And I think that we've gotten a test to break out of this channel. We're almost there, but not quite there. And so I think that this does look like, and also, I mean, though, a thing to be cautious about, if I just do a trend line from the high here and intersect that with, the high over here, that still is a cup and handle. We have not retraced to the scene of the crime just yet, so it could go lower, so good to be prepared for that. Also, we could view this as a head and shoulders pattern. If I do another, actually, I'm going to do a ray for this one to see, let's see, to kind of, and I will do these. So this one is like best case scenario, so I'll do it green, and I'm going to make it a little bit thicker. This one is, I'm actually going to wait to color that because it might be the next best case scenario, or this one might be. And so this is, I don't want a horizontal line, I want to do a ray. And so if I do a line from that pivot high to, this one, actually, that looks like we got a breakout from that downtrend, and we have broken out and retested. So yeah, I mean, I guess this would be this one would be the next best case scenario, looking at that as yellow, and then this line would be, I would say, the next best case scenario. So the first best case scenario is that we're right around the bottom with Lyft. It's finding support around 1550, right around where that green line is, and price could be going higher. And with that being said, if we take a measurement from the bottom here to that line and we move it up to that line, basically to where current price is, maybe it would take some time for this to happen. That represents about a 50% move to the upside. So that looks pretty good. But if we break lower, if we break below that green line down to the yellow downtrend, let's take this measurement over here, but then rather than moving it to that green line, let's move it up to that yellow one. So it's going to be a little bit bigger. And then if we do pull back to, let's say right around here to that yellow line by, let's say, October, I don't think it's going to take that long, then that would represent a 68, almost 70% move to the upside based on that measured move. But then, the next best case scenario is if we're looking at this as a breakout here and that retest, we could then take a measurement from that line, and so that would be going from right here, and we have basically seen that being carried out. That measurement has been executed, and that from this orange downtrend was a move of about 73% to the upside. So I think this chart's really cool. I will probably put a video out on it, a clip of this, because I just think that's neat. And with that being said, going over that, John, I do appreciate that comment because it's a really cool chart to go over, and I haven't really looked at it much. There is a possible gap fill below on the daily, and so I might actually include this as well. And so in the video clip, but yeah, so this gap fill, let's see, going from the close. So this is following earnings or on earnings day, which was on the 13th. So I assume in the after hours, the close on that day was $12.13. So I'm just going to adjust this to the penny here, and I'm going to make that line a little bit thicker, and I'm going to make it purple. So it's different from the other ones. And so maybe that is a level that we might be pulling back to. There are going to be other gaps to the downside. There is one here that would be around 1128. But one thing that I have learned the hard lesson on, I learned this with American Airlines, I've learned this with other stocks, gaps are not filled immediately, not always filled immediately. So it could be a year, it could be maybe 6 months before these gaps are filled. And these moves to the upside that I talked about, going from, let's see, this going to the yellow downtrend, let's say, right around there, breakout from here. It could be going to around $24.50 or $25 a share before that gap is filled. And so, from, yeah, let's see, just going to do auto fit here, zoom in, and let's just take, actually, I don't want an auto fit because I want to go up to about 25 bucks a share. So let's say from this green line, let's say it goes up to $25 a share, just throwing it out there. That represents a move of about 60% to the upside. If it then pulls back to fill that gap, that represents a 23% drop. And so maybe that happens, but maybe there's a 60% move to the upside before it happens. So good to keep that in mind.